3, 2, 1.
What's up, everyone? Dan here, Crypto Capital Venture, November 12th, 2018. Today in this video, we're going to talk about Litecoin and the massive dip. I mean, it doesn't look that bad, does it? If you're on the weekly chart, it doesn't really look that bad zoomed out. It doesn't look that bad because it's not that bad, at least in my opinion, but we've been talking about these prices for a while on this channel, anticipating this dip. We're in a bear market. How could you not anticipate this dip? But we're here now, so let's talk about what it means for Litecoin, where we might be going next. And to start this video, I want to start with this. I tweeted this yesterday. I said, new lower low at $42. That would be generously in my heavy accumulation area. I can't imagine it, but it's so possible. This was just not even 24 hours ago. This was last night, trading at $49. We've been tracking this wedge for a while, this falling wedge. We knew this new lower area was possible. And so now here we are, and you can see it if we go to the daily real quick. We're there. It happened. So it's really no surprise. And if you just zoom out on the charts, days like this are normal. They're just normal. So the whole reason we do technical analysis is to be prepared for days like this so that we can accumulate. And I tweeted another tweet. I said, sorry I haven't tweeted much during this downtrend. Have been too busy buying the dip. And then Crypto Blues said, is this the end? They just tweeted this. And I said, it's the first quarter of the beginning. So now enough of my rambling. Let's jump into technical analysis. And here we are. It's Bitcoin on the weekly charts. Gonna just scroll through a couple Bitcoin charts real quick to lay some context for the video, because Bitcoin is usually in these situations what I'm watching the closest in terms of when I'm going to keep accumulating and when I'm going to buy the dip. So if you zoom out on the weekly chart on Bitcoin, on Litecoin, whatever chart you want, it doesn't look, the chart looks exactly the same as it did yesterday. And so it's really good reminder to find the healthy perspective of these markets. If you're planning on being here for a long time and you're planning on being long investor, find a good perspective. For me, the healthiest perspective for my mindset is this one right here. It's the weekly chart. You can see we're down, obviously, on this weekly candle, but I mean, it's nothing new. I mean, go back, even in the bull market, go back and look at weekly candles even more harsh than this one so far. That's that. Then we can kind of go over to the weekly chart on Litecoin real quick. Same thing. I mean, we're looking okay. And let's start here. I did a video earlier. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. It's just really for some real quick context. Then this is mainly why I'm looking at Bitcoin to make my Litecoin decisions. It is this. It's this overextension from the 200 EMA that we have time and time again in the 20 to 30% range. So there's 28% overextension. Here is 29% overextension. Here is 24% overextension. And then right now we are right around 19%. So it's safe to say that there's a good possibility. First off, it's a great opportunity to accumulate even at 20% overextended. But it is safe to say that there's a good possibility that we come down to our targets, which is the height of this symmetrical triangle here, right around $5,000, and hit an overextension of the 200 EMA at 28%. And that would be an awesome, from a technical analysis standpoint, an awesome area to accumulate Bitcoin. And then along the way, we can accumulate other altcoins such as Litecoin if it's in your scope to do so. So that's Bitcoin. Now let's look at Litecoin. Like, what is Litecoin doing right now? And there's some really good context in terms of Litecoin on the daily and the 4-hour in synergy with Bitcoin. So first off, here's the wedge that we've been tracking. So really cool to see. I tweeted earlier also, and I said it's going to be interesting to see what happens here and when, like, how this daily bar closes. I'd be really interested to see, because if we at least get a close above this bottom trend line, I think that's a good indicator of potential support for Litecoin. And if that happens, it most likely will be because Bitcoin found its support right in this bottom range right here. And we know going back to June, it's a really critical area for Bitcoin support, right in that $5,700 area. So going back to Litecoin, here we are. Our targets, short, midterm target for Litecoin, if this downtrend continues, is right here at the bottom around $30. And that's quite a ways to go. It's 27% away. But there's some more interesting things going on, I think, that we can pay a little bit closer attention to than just this target. This is the daily target. There might be some better things to look at. So if we go to the 4-hour right now, what we can do is we can take two things, and we've talked about this on the channel as well. So we have that overextension area that we look for on the daily chart on Bitcoin, overextension from the 200 EMA, 20 to 30% range. And on Litecoin, we have a similar range, but it's the 200 EMA on the 4-hour chart that we like to watch. And we can just do the same thing we did on Bitcoin. So there's a 32% downturn, right? And there's a great area for a bottom for Litecoin. Then we can take another area. We can kind of do it. 32% again. Great area for Litecoin in terms of a bottom. And then we can do it again. 30%. And we can do it again. 23%. So this 20 to 30% area proved to be a great accumulation area, because if you're buying in that 20 to 30% area, almost every time you've gotten a bounce off of that bottom. And so in terms of where Litecoin is now from the 200 EMA, you can see it is right around 20% right now. So it has a little bit of ways to go if it's going to get right into that 20 to 30% range. And you can see if we take it down to 30%, what we'll get is around a $35 Litecoin, $36 Litecoin. And you might be wondering, well, Dan, why is that significant? Or why is a $35 Litecoin right around here more significant than actual target right here? Well, the reason is because if we take from where we're trading right now around $42, and we take it down to this target of 35 to 36, that overextended target of around 30% overextended from the 200 EMA, we get around a 15 to 16% downside from where we are right now in the market. Now, if we go to our more stable technical analysis indicator, which is Bitcoin, we can do this. We can say, well, if we hit this daily target that we have on the symmetrical triangle right now on the short to midterm for Bitcoin, where does that bring us? And you can see it brings us right around 14 to 15%. So I think a safer bet in terms of Bitcoin and Litecoin is on Bitcoin. You can look for potential target on the downside of 5,000 with some support there, and then on Litecoin, I think this $35 area is a more safe, not safe. I shouldn't use that word safe. I think it's just a better area to look for supports in terms of Litecoin on the downside. Obviously, we know that we can totally hit $30, but at the end of the day, you can see that we are pretty much perfectly in range of our long-term bottom range that we've been talking about forever now. Not forever, but for a good amount of time, which is to say this, the $50 to $30 bottom. We're there. I mean, we're right in it. We're right in the middle of it. We're right around $40, right in the middle of that bottom range. Everybody knows that's a huge accumulation area for me in terms of Litecoin, but my technical analysis approach in terms of accumulation obviously is on the daily, but it really comes all back to here, the weekly charts. And here we are. We can see $50 to, well, that's way down. So $50 to $30. That's it. And it's very reminiscent of just the bottom that we had before, right? This big range at the bottom, and same thing for Bitcoin. Bitcoin very reminiscent of where we were in its bottom. And I can imagine on a day like this, so let's see, a week like this, January 12th, 2015, people probably freaking out, but it marked a great indicator for the bottom range of Bitcoin. And similar, this week might get worse. The week that we're in, it's possible, but it could do the same thing. It could make a great bottom range indicator for us, especially anywhere under $5,000. It's a huge accumulation area. So those are my thoughts in terms of Litecoin, where we're at, what we're doing. Everybody knows I'm long, and this downturn in the market does not matter. in my perspective, from my perspective, all you have to do is really just find your mental comfort zone, find your risk tolerance, don't spend more money than you can afford to lose, and accumulate if you're long in this space. This is a venture capitalist or a mini venture capitalist opportunity. It gives all of us the opportunity to invest as if we were VCs in this space and invest in the long term, because in my opinion, the long term is looking very good and very healthy. So we're down today, but we've been down many other days. Let me know your thoughts below. How are you making out in the market right now? Would be nice, wouldn't it, to have a bull market, bull run? And actually somebody commented and they said on this post that I made, they said, where's the bull run you were predicting? But I was never predicting a bull run. I don't understand where they got that comment from. So we've anticipated this downturn for a while now. We're here. We're in the $30 to $50 range. I hope you're all making out okay. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe. I would love to have you as part of the channel. I will see you all in the next video, and God bless.